What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone is having an exquisite Monday morning. Today's video slash live stream, because we're actually live. Obviously, this isn't pre-recorded. I don't do that. We are going to be doing a best ball draft over on Drafters. I'm going to pull up the share screen really quick, and then we're going to hop on into this draft. If anyone wants to hop in here with me and you are new to best ball over on Drafters, if you use promo code Stochastic, you will double your first deposit up to $100. So if you deposit $100, they will be giving you an additional $100. So we're going to go ahead and hop on in to this draft. I'm going to share my screen now, and then technically I'm going to have to unshare my screen because it will show you guys my phone number if I don't do that. So we're going to be joining the $20 contest here up top. $250,000 to first place, $100,000 to second place, $20 buy-in. And the best thing about this is that it seems very unlikely that it's going to actually end up filling. Right now, we are at 34,000 out of 55,000. Today is the 5th. The season starts on Thursday, so it seems very unlikely that we are going to get 20,000 more people to join this. Thus, there's going to be overlay, and that makes it significantly easier for one of us to end up winning. So I'm going to join right now. I'm going to take it off my screen really quick because, like I said, it's going to show my phone number. If you guys have any questions about best ball or about fantasy football, anything related to that, just ask it in the chat, and I will be very excited to talk to you guys about that. I always love talking in the chat. So we joined the draft. Question is, did we actually get into the draft now, or were we too late? Was I too slow? And we weren't too slow. We are in right now. Alrighty, let's do it. Where are we? We're at the 11 hole. That's a tough scene. I don't know if you guys watch over on the Best Ball channel where I do a lot of these drafts, but we have been, what's up, Kyle? We have been absolutely getting demolished by the system here. Fins up, baby, because I have never been getting on stream like the first 4 picks. We're always back here at pick like 11 or pick 7. Yo, what's up, Kyle? How you guys doing? You guys are having a good day. And it's truly a tough scene, but today we're going to do a nice draft here. Try to craft the winner from the 11 hole. This is a PPR website. What's up, Chris? 3 wide receivers. So pretty similar to other best ball platforms. Besides full PPR, some of them are half PPR. We're drafting the winner today, though. I already feel it. I woke up today feeling dangerous like Baker Mayfield, and I'm ready to roll. Wish everyone would just hit the I'm ready button so we didn't have to wait 30 seconds. But yeah, so last night I had one of my fantasy football drafts with all my friends from back home in our 14-team league, and you quickly realize when you're in an actual 14-team league how quickly things turn to shit, because after like the first 10 rounds, you start taking people that you're iffy taking in best ball, and now you have to actually make the situation or the pick on when you want to play these guys. And it's just brutal, but I had a fun time. Let me know when you guys' fantasy drafts are. Did you guys already do all your fantasy drafts, or are you still waiting? Because today I have another one hosted at my house later today. We're doing our 12-team Superflex League. And the coolest thing about drafters is right now there is actually Superflex drafts that you can do on here. And they're only $5.55 to enter $10,000 to first place. So you can make that $100 first match deposit bonus go quite big if you just keep playing the $5.55 one, or you can just play in the $20 one like I'm playing in today. So the first pick here, Justin Jefferson. Now, to some people, that might seem crazy, but in best ball, people will take anyone at the number 1 overall. I've seen Cooper Kupp. I've seen Jefferson. I've seen Jonathan Taylor, McCaffrey, Chase, and Eckler all go number 1 overall. So I'm not very shook up. I'm not all shook up like Elvis Presley on that one. So after Jefferson, we see Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Cooper Kupp, and Austin Eckler. What I have noticed in best ball drafts compared to a typical redraft league is in best ball drafts, no one really cares about drafting a wide receiver in the first round, right? They'll just happily do it. Whereas in redraft leagues, people get very nervous when it comes to drafting wide receivers early. People are very likely to want to draft a running back early on. Whereas in best ball, you're going to see 3 receivers, sometimes even 4 receivers in the top 7, 8 picks. So we'll see who's going to be available to us at the pick 11 here. draft is going relatively slow, if I'm being honest with you. Normally, I feel like the first round, people are just smashing the button. They already know who they want. By the time the pick comes to me, I'm probably going to end up taking 20 seconds after I say that, right? So let's see here. We see Stephon Diggs. Travis Kelsey is pretty interesting, if I'm being honest with you, in the first round here. But there is a potential that he falls back to us on the swing. Barkley goes before me. So we're just going to go with the best players available here. This time we'll go with Devonte Adams. I'm pretty comfortable with Devonte Adams. I think he could easily be the number one receiver in fantasy football at the end of the season. Devonte Adams is just such a good player. Derek Carr isn't that bad of a quarterback. I think Derek Carr is kind of underrated. Now, I'm not saying that Derek Carr is like a top five quarterback, but to me, he's underrated. So after Adams, we see Derrick Henry, as well as Alvin Kamara. So here, this time, we will go with Travis Kelsey. There's a lot of unknowns when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs offense, right? Who knows who the number one receiver is going to be on this team? Who knows what Sky Moore's involvement is going to be, MVS's involvement? Who's going to be the number one guy? We have an answer, though. The number one target on this team is Travis Kelsey. So, in my opinion, I like Travis Kelsey a ton because we already know who he is. We already know how good he is. I understand he's getting up there in age, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, Travis Kelsey is still a fantastic player. So I'm very excited to get Kelsey here. This is my first year of doing best ball, and I noticed most of my builds are going wide receiver heavy with a top tier quarterback. Is doing this viable? Am I playing too much like a regular season? No. No, I think that's honestly what a lot of people do. A lot of people go zero running back in these drafts. They'll load up early on, maybe snag an elite tight end, draft a million wide receivers because you can be starting four wide receivers at all times, right? Because you have three wide receivers and you have a flex and it's a full PPR format. So yeah, it makes perfect sense to be doing that strategy. And if you're not playing on this site, it's half PPR on the other ones. Solid choice. Thank you. Opinion on my team. You got Kirk Cousins, Aaron Jones, David Montgomery, Kareem Hunt, Tony Pollard, Cordero Patterson, Stephon Diggs, Godwin, Lockett, Julio, Waller, Jason Sanders, and the Bucks D. Let me know who you would start. I like your team a decent amount. For running backs, I would start Aaron Jones and Cordero Patterson. For your receivers, I'd go with Diggs. And I don't think Godwin's going to play week one, but maybe he does. If he does play week one, I'm playing Godwin. If not, I'm going to go Julio. And then if you need a flex, I would go with Lockett. I have Tanyan as well, but I'd play Waller week one. All right. So back on into the actual draft here. After we went with Kelsey, came DeAndre Swift, Mixon, Lamb, Javante, Debo, Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, Leonard Fournette. Now, these reports on Javante Williams are quite concerning, if I'm being honest with you. Now, I don't remember the name of the beat reporter who tweeted this. He is, I think, the biggest beat reporter for the Broncos. Now, he has me blocked on Twitter, so I had to hop on my burner account and go ahead and look at that. And I saw that he was talking about how Javante Williams owners are going to be disappointed. That Javante Williams might be seeing only 45% of snaps, or 55% of snaps, I should say, and then Melvin Gordon's going to be getting 45% of snaps. And now, do I believe that to be the 100% truth? No, I don't believe half the shit that beat reporters say. But isn't that just a bit concerning? To me, it is. Now, I'm not saying don't draft Javante Williams in the second round. I'm not saying you can't draft Javante Williams because there is a scenario where that guy is just being completely untrue. Javante Williams goes out there. He's the clear lead back. He's fucking amazing because he's a talented running back. The Broncos are running up scores on teams, and he's playing well. That's 100% in the realm of possibilities. I am just a little bit more nervous than I was previously on Javante Williams. Kyle Pitts going at the turn in round two. I'm starting to see people get really high on Kyle Pitts, where Kyle Pitts is going ahead of Mr. Mark Andrews. Do I think that's absolutely an insane person move? No, but I would definitely rather take Andrews over Pitts. There's a lot of talk right now, though, about Isaiah Likely, the other tight end in Baltimore, talking about how he is the number 3 target on this team, and that makes him pretty fantasy relevant. Now, in a redraft league, I'm not too sure how many times you want to be rolling out Isaiah Likely, right? But in a best ball format, if you don't say invest on Travis Kelsey in the second round, then maybe you want to go ahead and patch together 3-4 tight ends later. You can go ahead and draft a guy like Isaiah Likely. What's Likely's ADP right now? Isaiah Likely, 193.9. So he goes real deep in the draft. Maybe Isaiah Likely is potentially a league winner. We shall see. K Morga going robust with 9-inch Nicholas Chubb in the third round. Two teams in this draft actually going robust running back. JT Fournette, Aaron Jones. Wow, what a start that is. Getting Aaron Jones in the third round, I would take Aaron Jones in the second round right here. So I don't really think. I think that's an amazing start. Josh Allen and then Cortland Sutton. Eventually, we're going to have to draft Patrick Mahomes, and it's very unlikely that he comes back to us in the fifth round. So we're going to have to pull the trigger in the fourth round, even though I don't typically like doing that. And I don't think the week 17 correlation is as important on this website. So we're not heavily looking into that. We're going to go ahead and get my boy Jalen Waddle. I know the Dolphins brought in Tyreek Hill. I'm a big Dolphins fan, but I'm not really too worried about that in terms of projecting Jalen Waddle. If anything, it might help Jalen Waddle because Jalen Waddle is going to be seeing softer coverage. Head coach Mike McDaniel, to me, is a very smart head coach. I think he's going to help this team out a ton, this offense out a ton. So I'm pretty excited to see what Mr. Tua does this year because I think if Tua is able to sling the rock at a pretty solid rate, like if he's actually being efficient and can push the ball down the field, then Waddle is in position for a monster season. So I'm fine taking him in the third round. Amon-Ra St. Brown in the fourth. A little bit of a reach to me. Here we're going to go Patrick Mahomes. Normally I don't love doing it, but being able to match Mahomes with Kelsey just makes perfect sense. It's a holy matrimony with Kelsey and Pat Mahomes, the second and my fourth round pick. Uh, if you had to get Keenan or Mike, who do you like? I've had a lot of stacks with Herb and Mike. I get nervous knowing Keenan is getting older, but he can still catch 40 plus balls. To me, if you are saying in a vacuum, I would probably prefer Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen significantly safer, and he has pretty similar upside to Mike Williams. Mike Williams is very hit or miss. Mike Williams will have games where this man hangs 40 points potentially on your opponent, right? Or in these big tournaments, he scores 40 points. Then there's going to be other games where Mike Williams takes a deuce on your chest because he doesn't perform and he scores like 6 points. Now, in best ball, that does not matter as much because in best ball, you don't have to worry about when you're starting him, right? In a redraft league, you're sitting there like, shit, should I start Mike Williams? He's in this soft matchup and then he just shits the bed. And then the next week, he has this really tough matchup and he could go up against prime Deion Sanders and he's going to play amazing. So that's the annoying thing about Mike Williams. I prefer Keenan Allen in best ball and in redraft, but I do like Mike Williams as well. I wouldn't say there's that big of a difference in a best ball draft. As you see here, they go within 2 picks. I think my most interesting stack with Herbert and Mike Williams also involves Austin Eckler. I think that's going to be a very unique stack because I don't know how many people want to go that deep into the Chargers. I just don't think that many people are going to do that, especially with the running back. Now, some people go deeper with guys like Gerald Everett, but I don't think a lot of people are going to have Eckler included in their stack, and I think that makes my team different, and I like doing that. I'll pull up the Kansas City Chiefs playoff schedule for me here for Week 17. Obviously, there is no playoffs on this website, but I do still think having the Week 17 run back could potentially win you this whole thing. So the Broncos play up against the Chiefs in Week 17. I probably should have had that memorized at that point. So if we can get a Broncos player, we will, but we're not also going to force ourselves into drafting a Broncos player for no reason. Like we're not going to draft fucking KJ Hamler in the 8th round for no reason when we could get him in like the 11th round, right? We're not going to force anything here in this draft. So if you guys have any questions, again, make sure you leave it in the chat. I'm absolutely devouring this water, by the way. All right. Mahomes, Etienne, Gabe Davis, Connor, Lamar Jackson, Juju Smith-Schuster, Allen Robinson, Ezekiel Elliott, Hollywood Brown, Chris Godwin, Jerry Jeudy, and Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has become probably my favorite quarterback target in fantasy drafts this season. I really think that the addition of AJ Brown is going to help Jalen Hurts by so much. I really think that AJ Brown is that good of a wide receiver that even if Jalen Hurts isn't the most prolific passer, that he is going to be lifted up, elevated by a wide receiver with the prowess of AJ Brown. Now, Devonte Smith is also pretty solid. I think Devonte Smith is interesting, but I really think that AJ Brown is taking this team to that next level. I think they're a little bit more confident when it comes to passing the football now. So I'm thinking that Jalen Hurts could be in for a pretty solid year. And he's also just going to run the ball at a pretty high rate as well because he's very good at doing that. And in fantasy football, the rushing quarterbacks are just so good. So good. So I'd appreciate if you guys could hit the like button as well on the stream. It helps us out a ton. Thank you guys for watching. Really do appreciate it. I love all you guys, all 43 of y'all watching the stream right now. After Hurts, we see Darnell. Here comes the Mooney. Kyler Murray, Alan Lazard, and Darren Waller. I'm kind of out on Alan Lazard at this point. I was very in. I'm talking about balls deep in. And now I'm not necessarily all the way out, but I'm not as in. So that's kind of just how I feel about it. So if you guys are new to Drafters, where we are drafting right now, make sure you use promo code Stochastic to get that first match deposit bonus of $100. You deposit $100, you get an additional $100 in this contest here. $1 million total prize pool, $20 entry, $250,000 first. Let's make sure that's correct. I don't want to say the wrong thing here. Let's just read this really quick. Oh, okay. And now it seems like it's not going to fill. There's still 20,000 more spots left in this thing. Of course, I can't fucking click on it, but it's 200,000 or $250,000 first. I don't remember exactly which one, and it's going to be huge. If there's going to be this big of overlay, it's going to be much easier to win. So make sure you guys sign up for that. So it's our pick now. We don't have any running backs, but I don't like the running backs in this range, so we're just going to go wide receiver. I want to go ahead and snag my boy Adam Thielen. I think Adam Thielen is severely underrated this year, if I'm being honest with you. I think that Adam Thielen is not just one of the better receivers in the league. I think that it's 250,000 the first. Thank you, Tigers. I don't think he's necessarily the best wide receiver to ever play football, but I do think that Adam Thielen has a lot of value because of how many touchdowns he scores, and I don't really see any way that he regresses in terms of touchdowns. Again, I'm like Brees Hall's fine. I just don't want to really draft him. If I'm being honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of Brees Hall. Here we will go with Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk seems to be Trevor Lawrence's favorite target. Christian Kirk looked pretty solid in that preseason action that we saw with him. So I'm very excited about Christian Kirk this season. I had that triple stack in my 25 best ball draft on Underdog. I thought it could have been counterproductive, but I'm glad someone else is on it. Yeah, I like that. 3 days away, baby. I'm excited, Nate. I'm really excited about the Chargers this year and try to draft a lot of them. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I am big onto a couple of teams. I have a lot of Chargers, a lot of Dolphins stacks, a lot of Denver stacks. Trying to think of other teams. I got a decent amount of Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen stacks because I like Adam Thielen a lot and I could just get Kirk later. So those are a couple of my favorite stacks. Any stack can work though. You can. Except for probably like Zach Wilson because that guy just stinks. All right, so after we go with Ayuk comes Christian Kirk. Oh, no, we went with Christian Kirk. Sorry about that. After we go with Kirk comes Brees Hall, A.J. Dillon, Michael Thomas, Elijah Moore, and Trey Lance. Trey Lance was a guy that literally, like, a couple months ago was going in, like, the 10th round, the 11th round. People were being so scared of Trey Lance. Like, oh, Jimmy Garoppolo was there. People were shitting their pants. And in reality, what the hell was Jimmy Garoppolo going to do? Like, I didn't understand why people were nervous about Jimmy Garoppolo, but we see now he's a 6th-round pick, 5th-round pick in some drafts I've seen. So not really surprised. Pick 69. Nice. Going with David Montgomery. If any of you guys are in this draft with me, let me know. So I can rate your team afterwards as if my rating is going to, if I say your team's going to be good, you're probably going to win the $250,000, Alrighty. Pretty solid construction. Eventually, we're going to have to draft some running backs, but we are in this range where I don't like these running backs. Like, Dobbins might not even play in week 1. Like, it's entirely possible that Dobbins misses the start of the season. They throw him on the PUP. Now, they might just be waiting. That's what they did with Michael Thomas last year, if you remember. Like, it's getting close to game day, and it's like, oh, Michael Thomas, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Seems like he's going to play. And then Michael Thomas was out for the whole fucking year. Now, do I think Dobbins is going to be out for the whole year? No. But do I worry that J.K. Dobbins might miss significant time early on, maybe 4 or 5 weeks? Yes, I do worry about that. Cam Akers, I'm pretty iffy on as well. I think Cam Akers is probably going to be one of those players that I probably could potentially miss out on something amazing here, because if Akers is the true workhorse back on the LA Rams, there's no reason that Cam Akers can't be a top 5 running back. But there's also a chance that Cam Akers is the 1A to Darrell Henderson's 1B. So that's how it is. Love you, Cheddar Bobby, 23. Alrighty. Tony Pollard in the 6th. That's just too early for me. I am not a big Tony Pollard guy. I don't have any Tony Pollard really, or Alexander Madison. So if either Dalvin Cook or Zeke go down, I am in a bad position. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Damian Pierce, my boy, in the 7th round. I love Damian Pierce. If you guys watch the Fantasy Football channel, make sure you're subscribed to that. Make videos on there all the time. Then you would know I'm a big Damian Pierce guy. Make sure you watch, actually, if you play fantasy football, make sure you check out my running back start sit video on there after this stream. Video is amazing. I had a fun time making that. How do you feel about Hollywood Brown this season? I like Hollywood Brown. I think Hollywood Brown is going to step on the gas early. I think Hollywood Brown is going to go crazy early. The question is, what is he going to do when DeAndre Hopkins comes back? In a redraft league, this guy might be the biggest trade bait I've ever seen. If you draft Hollywood Brown and then by like week 4, you're like, you know what? He's playing like a top 5 receiver. Let me just trade him before D Hop comes back. Maybe that's a excellent move. But he might also just go crazy the whole season. DeAndre Hopkins declines. Or Kyler Murray is just so good that he can elevate Hollywood Brown and D Hop, which I think is going to be the case. So I've really kind of turned the leaf on, or turned the page on Hollywood Brown. Maybe that's the terminology we want to use here. I like Hollywood Brown a lot this year. Clemson and GT, Georgia Tech. I am not a college football guy at all. So if you want to pick for that game, don't want to be honest with you, I have zero idea. Ask Matt Gajewski. He'll know. All right. Running backs here, still pretty dog shit. So we're going to just go with a receiver here. Going to get more Kansas City players to hop in my stack with me. We snag MVS here. I like MVS. I think that he is probably the second best option on this team behind Juju for receiver. So I'm fine with MVS. 15% Pollard for me. Yeah, one of us is going to be looking very good. Good, sir. Hollywood Higgins is the only Hollywood y'all should bet on. Alrighty. We're going running back here. We're going running back. We're reaching. We're getting my boy Penny. I'm so content on Rashad Penny. I really think that Rashad Penny is going to be very good. I really think that unless he gets hurt, which is unless, like a big unless, I should like caps lock that because he gets hurt a lot. If he doesn't get hurt, I think he runs away with the #1 job. I really don't think Kenneth Walker is going to compete for it this year. I don't know why they would just draft this guy early and then just roll him out here to get absolutely murdered when the team is clearly trying to tank. Wouldn't make too much sense to me. Thanks for the honesty, boss. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to just tell you that I like Clemson spread when I have no idea what the fuck the spread is. I'm just not a college football guy. Never have been. I watch it, but I don't know enough about it to really give you any pointers on that. Whereas this, I love NFL, so I'm pretty good at this. Thank you. Higgins is going to have a great season, but unfortunately, he's off the board for me right now. I'm on DraftKings Best Ball right now. Yeah, I like all the best ball sites, but the best ball site is Drafters, obviously. Promo code Stochastic for that $100 first match deposit bonus. Tom Brady in the 8th round. I feel like we're all going to look really fucking stupid when it comes to Tom Brady, or a lot of people are. I'm a big Tom Brady bag holder. I have a lot of Tom Brady and Evans and Godwin stacks. I love this Tampa Bay offense, and I think people are going to look silly when we look back and it's like, Tom Brady was going in the 8th, 9th round. Again, he doesn't run the ball at a crazy amount. I understand that. He can't run the ball. He doesn't run the ball at all, actually. He like runs like he's in molasses. But at the end of the day, he's still really good. I like Tom Brady a lot this year. I don't think he's going to fall off the edge of the earth. I mean, his face did look a little fucked up, though, if you guys saw that video of him talking at the press conference. Brady, Olave, Devin, Singletary. Clemson by 20. Well, I love college football. All right, we'll go with that. That's the take we'll go with here. Clemson by 20. I love it, honestly. Love that pick. I've been looking a lot at NFL Week 1 lines. I'm a Dolphins fan, so my favorite bet for Week 1 is going to be the Dolphins, -3. Some other games I like, while we're just sitting here, we're chilling out. I also I think the Titans against the Giants might be one of those games where you feel so confident. Oh, Titans -5.5. The Giants suck ass, and then the Giants cover. Starting to think that, but I have not placed any bets yet. I also really like the Rams plus 2.5 or plus 3. Super Bowl winner coming back the next year in week 1 is always really good. I don't know the exact stats, so I don't want to say like, oh, they're 10-2 in the last 12 because that could just be false. But they are winning at a very high clip, so I do like the Rams. Does CMC play all season? I think so. I mean, look, it's impossible to project. It's impossible to project injury. It is. And it's not like Christian McCaffrey deals with, like Dalvin Cook, how he has that shoulder thing. Christian McCaffrey doesn't deal with that. It's just injury luck. Didn't go his way, right? Years at Stanford, no injuries. 2 years in the NFL, no injuries. And in the last couple of years, he's gotten banged up. But I would tell you right now that it is not crazy that McCaffrey plays all year. So you're going for a KC stack right now. I went with that in a Buffalo stack in one of my best ball tournaments. Kind of nervous about going so high on 2 quarterbacks. See, I think that's different because I don't think most people who invest in Josh Allen are also going to be heavily investing in on the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think that is a perfectly acceptable strategy. I like that. A team I drafted the other day, I did Dolphins and Dolphins Bengals. I did Burrow, Chase, Higgins, and then I did Tua, Tyreek, Waddle. Let's see here. The running backs are looking bad. I'm a big Melvin Gordon guy. I like Melvin Gordon. I think Melvin Gordon might just be the starter. Not the starter on this team, but just kick Devonte Williams in the ass and just play so many snaps that Devonte Williams gets fucked over and Melvin Gordon ends up being pretty good. He could easily walk into the end zone a couple times this season, and I'll be pretty excited about that pick. Miles Sanders, like, I don't like Miles Sanders even 1 ounce, but when he falls to the 10th round, he's kind of like a no-brainer pick. Like, I know he's the number 1 back there. I think Kenneth Gainwell can potentially steal that role away. I think Boston Scott is even going to play a role in this offense, but I like Miles Sanders in the 10th round. I don't like him in like the 5th round, though, where a lot of people are drafting him. Redraft leagues. We definitely need to start looking at another quarterback here. Kind of interested in going different and going Jacksonville in a website like Drafters. Again, code Stochastic if you are new, where there's 20 rounds. I'm fine going 3 quarterbacks. I'm fine going 3 tight ends because I think you can be a lot different. But here, I think you need at least 6 running backs on this kind of a site. I'm probably going to end up going with 7 in this draft. Alrighty. Let's see. The quarterbacks are starting to get a little bit dicey here. We do have the Kirk Thielen, Tua Waddle, and we have Trevor Lawrence and Christian Kirk still on there. The question is, though, will any of these guys even fall back to me? Stacked Baker and McCaffrey, but I'm worried about Baker's choking. I think Baker's still good. I don't know what your guys' opinion on Baker is, right? The guy last year played like shit right after he got hurt, but prior to his injury, his stats were crazy. I wish I had it pulled up. I really do wish I had it pulled up because maybe I can pull it up right now on my phone. I don't know if on Google Docs on your phone you can do the exact same thing you can do on your computer. Maybe it'll show up for me. Baker Mayfield. The stats were just crazy. Here it is. So, Baker Mayfield, in 16 games prior to his injury, had a 100.6 passer rating with 22 touchdowns to 5 interception rate. After his injury, 72.8 passer rating with an 11 touchdown to 10 interception ratio. Now, I'm not saying Baker Mayfield is this prolific top 5 quarterback in the NFL. No. I've used the word prolific multiple times, so I'll stop using that word. So, like this fantastic top 5 player? No. But do I think that Baker Mayfield has it in him to elevate a guy like McCaffrey? Yes. Yeah, took a very late round Boston Scott a couple times myself. Yes, I've also done that. Please rate my team at the end. Yes, sir, I will. What's your name on here? Mr. LG96? Nope, it's your name, LG96. I fucking see you right in the middle. I literally read everyone's name, and my brain skipped over you because you're right in the middle. I will rate your team for you, good sir. I ride Kurt Warner's coattail. He says Baker's a baller, so I place bets. Yeah, I think Kurt Warner has some reasonable takes. I mean, there's some guys that make stuff on TV about football, and I honestly think they're just stupid. Like it's shocking that some of these guys play in the NFL, played in the NFL, and then they have these crazy takes. Kurt Warner, I think, is pretty good. Dan Orlovsky says some crazy things, but I think Dan Orlovsky is also pretty reliable. So there's a couple guys though on TV that like if you like really genuinely take to heart what they say, I think you're kind of crazy. Now it's all good watching for fun, right? Most of the stuff I make on the fantasy football channel, it's for fun, right? It's to have fun. I'm talking about football analysis, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to also make you guys have a good time. But yeah, Romeo Dubes in the 10th. Woo, woo. That's a little high. It's a little high. I'm not saying that Romeo Dubes can't pay off that top 10 round draft capital, but that's a little high. It's a little high. Running backs are just going down the shitter at this point. So we're gonna have to draft another one. Probably gonna end up going running back, quarterback here. Hopefully we can get Trevor to match up with the boy Christian Kirk. Bang, we got Trevor. Bang. Probably gonna have to go with another wide receiver. On Jacksonville. Maybe not though. Maybe not. On drafters, I don't think stacking is as important, but I'm still trying to stack. All right. Back up on the board here. Yeah, I talked about this before, how I have like legitimately no Alexander Madison, so we're just gonna draft him here. It's a numbers game, you know. At least we'll have one Alexander Madison. If Dalvin Cook just fucking falls in the shower, then we'll be good with Alexander Madison. Can you name your top two rookies in each position based upon actual chance of impact this season? Okay, that's fine. At wide receiver, I think Jalen Tolbert is probably one of my favorite ones. I really think Jalen Tolbert, at price at ADP, could be an immense value because he's probably the number two receiver on this team. They're going to use Noah Brown. When Michael Gallup comes back, maybe things get shook up and Jalen Tolbert ends up being ass. Definitely possible. But at ADP, where you can draft him, I like him a ton. Another receiver I like a decent amount is Chris Olave. Michael Thomas is still very up in the air for me. I think Michael Thomas could be literally the number one receiver in fantasy, and he also might be wide receiver 75. The range of outcomes for Michael Thomas is crazy. I think Chris Olave has a lot of talent, so I like him. For the running backs, this year, the rookie running backs just aren't, to me, like, there isn't really a guy that I love that's a rookie running back. Like, Brees Hall goes in the fourth, the fifth round. I don't trust Brees Hall. So while I'm drafting rookie running backs, I am not genuinely really in love with any of them, if I'm being completely honest with you. It's just kind of how I feel on things. Like, I did really like Brian Robinson. He would have been the name. Sucks what happened to Brian Robinson, but there are some reports that he could come back and play this season. Alrighty. And then at quarterback, I guess you'd have to go ahead and just say Pickett. Because I think if Pickett plays, he legitimately could be extremely good. Nick, I'm new to your show. Who's your NFL, MLB, CFL, NBA, like your childhood faves? Yeah. So for the NFL, I like the Miami Dolphins. For the MLB, I like the Mets. Now I live in New Jersey, so I like a lot of the New Jersey teams and the Dolphins. Not New Jersey teams necessarily, because there's no teams in New Jersey anymore. But you get what I'm saying, like the New Jersey centric teams. So I like the Dolphins, I like the Mets. For college football, I like the Miami U. It's all about the U. For the NBA, I am technically a Nets fan, but I care a lot more about the players, and Lonzo Ball is my favorite player. And then in the NHL, I really like the Devils. The Devils is the only team that actually is in New Jersey. Browns winning that game. Which one? Against the Dolphins? Maybe. I don't think so, though. The Browns are real interesting, man. I think the Browns might legitimately suck absolute ass this year because without Watson, like, I don't really think Jacoby Brissett's any good. I had to watch him last year play for the Dolphins, and he was very bad. He's not good. He can't play. What's that? Is that Stephen A. Smith clip? He's not good. He can't play. I wish I knew what who he was talking about. That shit makes me laugh all the time. All right. Need another tight end as well, but I'm not too panicked yet. Not worried. We're still good here. Again, if you guys are new to drafters and you want to sign up, enter a tournament like this, $20 to enter, $250,000 to first place. And there's looking like there's going to be probably less than, or not, I don't know how to word this. It's going to fill probably, my guess is 10,000 less. So it's not going to fill. Fuck, I don't even know how to word that. There's going to be overlay in this tournament, is what I should say. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and join on here, $20 to enter, $250,000 first place. You can compete for second, of course, because I am going to win first place. Sorry about that brain fart right there. I was drinking last night. They asked me to stream at 10 a.m. That's what happens. Alrighty. We got to go. We got to draft a fucking running back or receiver. Let's go Hamler. Don't want to force Hamler onto my teams, but I don't have a lot of Hamler. And Hamler could be very involved in this Denver Broncos offense. So we'll get Hamler. We definitely need another running back, though. I'm itching for some NBA fantasy. I like NBA. I really like the NBA. Stacked the wrong game in MLB yesterday. It's tough to see, Rants. Tough to see. Tough to see. All right, we got to go running back here. Want to go Zamir? Actually, Zamir's another running back I like. That's a rookie. I think Zamir White could be the number one back in Las Vegas, or at least compete for enough of a role with Josh Jacobs to where he's pretty fantasy relevant and could have some solid games. So our team's looking pretty solid right now. We have a great wide receiver core, great quarterback, and a great tight end, but our running backs are extremely, extremely dicey. What is my thoughts on Chase Edmonds? I like Chase Edmonds this year. I think Chase Edmonds is the clear number one on the team. I think Raheem Mostert is going to get used. I think Raheem Mostert is going to be the number two back on the team. I think Raheem Mostert he doesn't necessarily have the same pass catching abilities, in my opinion, that Edmonds has. I think the team wants to use Edmonds to catch passes. Edmonds in the preseason game, when Tua was actually playing, looked pretty good. Tua dumped the ball off to him. And there's been a lot of positive reports out of training camp for Chase Edmonds. So I'm going to go ahead and say I like Chase Edmonds. He goes pretty high in redraft leagues. Like, I've seen him go in like the fifth or sixth round. Now, in here, he goes in like the seventh to eighth round, sometimes even the ninth round. So I like him at that price much better than, say, the fifth round. But in a vacuum, yes, I like Chase Edmonds. And I think he's going to have a pretty solid year. I think this Dolphins scheme is going to be very good. Mike McDaniel is very good head coach, in my opinion. Now, he has not even coached a fucking game, but I think he's going to be a great head coach. And we just got absolutely skull fucked by this tight end run because we only have one tight end. So I guess it's fine because it is Kelsey. But not being able to get another one of these tight ends in this range really sucks ass, in my opinion. Not being able to get like a Irv. I love Higbee this year, guys. I'm a big Higbee guy. I have a lot of Tyler Higbee. Last year, he was actually underperformed immensely for the opportunity he was given. Me and Savoca were talking about this. Higbee could be a potential huge smash this year in LA with the Rams. This Rams team's going to be scoring a lot of fucking points. And Higbee was in. He plays like all the fucking snaps. Now Everett is gone in LA with the other LA team. So he didn't have to move very far. Probably didn't move at all to go with the Chargers. But Higbee's in a really good spot this year. I like Higbee a ton. Alrighty. Tight end. Yeah, the tight ends are pretty gross. Evan Ingram is one of those guys where he's like a slap in the face to anyone who has ever watched this guy play because he's so talented, but he can't catch the ball. He cannot catch the ball. Can't catch the ball worth anything. He's so good when he catches the ball, though, but he can't catch the ball. Tough for a guy whose job is to catch the football that he can't do it. It's truly tough scene for him. Now Miami has Sony Michel. Sony Michel got cut. He's on the Chargers now. I'm not too worried about fucking Miles Gaskin or anyone else in that backfield. No, I disconnected and picked Spiller. Oh, it's okay. I don't think Spiller's that bad of a pick, if I'm being honest with you. In the 14th round. I mean, Spiller isn't necessarily the most healthy player, but he did return to practice. It's not like he's necessarily done or something. So I think Spiller's a good pick in the 14th. He was going rounds earlier, couple weeks ago even. So solid value in my opinion in the 14th round. It's interesting drafting with people who can hear you. That's why I kind of don't go super in depth on who I want to pick beforehand. Now, if it was me and someone else, then yes, we'd have to do that. But when it's just me, I kind of just talk about whatever the fuck I want, and then we have a good stream because you know. Oh, you need a tight end though. Okay, I get that. As do I, Tigers. You're going to be absolutely buried by me because I'm about to select a tight end. I might even select 2 tight ends just to fuck you over. I'm only kidding. That would be funny though. Very funny. Isaiah Likely, the goat, still available. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter at Notorious FNTSY, I made a tweet yesterday of Mark Andrews. I said Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely this year, and it was just a picture of Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski. I thought that was really funny. 50-50 on which one of them ends up being a killer, though. Want to go with my boy Austin Hooper. I like Cooper's talent. Tennessee isn't the most pass-heavy offense ever, but I like Cooper. Here, Austin Hooper and Tannehill have had a good connection this offseason. I've completely forgot Michelle got traded. No, Michelle got cut. He did not get traded. I wish we could have traded him, but we had to cut him. For some reason. I don't think we should have cut him, but we did. The running backs here are looking fucking gross. We're just going to go receiver before things really fall off the edge of the earth here and then just spam draft some more running backs. Fuck, we're running out of time here. Let's go Jameson Williams. I think when he comes back, he's going to be a big threat in fantasy football. Pretty solid pick in the 16th round. Now, he could come back and just be absolute dog shit. But again, I'm pretty confident in Adams, Waddle, Thielen, Kirk, MVS, and Hamler to hold things down. So while Jameson Williams is out, I think our team's going to be just fine. And even if he ends up being a miss pick, it's the 16th round, and you're just hunting for upside. And Jameson Williams has a ton of upside when he plays. I don't think he's going to play until November, though, would be my best guess. Brevin Jordan might be a good tight end. I like Brevin Jordan. Thoughts on Kareem Hunt? Will he be just as utilized? Now, my biggest worry about Kareem Hunt is that I think he was good because Baker isn't fucking terrible. Because Baker knows, hey, Kareem Hunt's good. Throw him the ball. Jacoby Brissett isn't that good. So I'm very much worried about Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt was like the running back 8 before he got hurt. So Kareem Hunt is clearly talented. Kareem Hunt's an amazing running back. The situation isn't amazing. We know his role in the offense. The question is, how good is Jacoby Brissett? And if Jacoby Brissett is good, then Kareem Hunt is going to end up being probably the biggest steal in fantasy drafts. Where did he go in this draft? I honestly have no idea because I'm right here. 8th round. Tigers took him. He could be a legitimate steal, or he could end up being one of the worst picks because now, obviously, when you're in the 8th round, I can't say you made like a terrible pick because it's the 8th round. But at the same time, like Kareem Hunt could end up potentially having crazy league winning potential. So I'm in on Kareem Hunt, definitely. Again, if you guys are new to drafters, I got to keep fucking pumping them up. Make sure that you guys do sign up using promo code Stochastic to get that $100 first match deposit bonus. Deposit $100, they give you an additional $100. And you can join this $20 contest that I'm playing in right now. First place, $250,000, and there will be overlay in the contest. Right now, they're 20,000 away from filling. I think we're going to get to 10,000 away from filling, and the contest is going to lock because the NFL season starts on Thursday. Today is Monday. We are eerily close to kickoff for week number 1. Let me know in the chat who we taking. We're going with the Rams or the Bills. I'm taking the Rams. I think I like the Rams plus 2.5, plus 3. I think the Rams straight up win the game too. I like the Rams. As a Dolphins fan, all Dolphins fans hate the Bills. I actually kind of like the Bills. I've always liked the Bills. I really like Josh Allen. I've been a big Josh Allen guy before the draft. So I like Josh Allen a ton. And, even though I'm a Dolphins fan, my opinion on him doesn't waver. I love Josh Allen. And I like this Bills team. I think the Bills team are the best team right now in the National Football League. But I think the Rams beat them still. I really do think that. Did he say 250,000 to first for $20 entry? Yes, that is what I said. 250K to first, $20 entry. That's this tournament that we're playing right now. They also offer a $5.55 tournament, which is super flex and $10,000 to first place. Also interesting, because I like super flex. Now, if you're not a super flex guy, that's okay. But super flex also changes things a lot, and it makes it interesting for me. I love Superflex. That's where my league is tonight. Damn. Well, it's a pretty good contest. I mean, it's not going to fill. So that's probably the most positive part about this $20 contest. That's not going to fill. So your chances of winning are a lot higher. It's hard to find overlay in DFS nowadays, best ball. And on drafters, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. I've done, I think, 40 something drafts on here. I've done 6 into this. The original $5.55 tournament was just normal best ball like this. And I did a bunch of those teams, and I did a bunch of the early best ball as well. Okay. The receivers are starting to look dicey, but honestly, with our team, we need more running backs. We need more running backs. I'm going to go receiver first because I don't think someone's going to take the running back that I want. I'm going to snag my boy Randall Cobb. I genuinely think there's a chance Randall Cobb is the number one target on the Packers. That might sound fucking crazy. I know. I don't think Randall Cobb will be the number one target, but I think there's a chance that he could be. And just the fact that there's a chance that he could be makes me want to draft him in the 17th round. Like, Rodgers cares so heavily about the connection. And of course, fucking JTLT took the fucking guy I actually wanted. So that's a tough scene. We're going to have to go with the other Baltimore running back and go with Mike Davis and just hope that if J.K. Dobbins isn't healthy, that Mike Davis becomes the guy. I was a big Mike Davis guy last year. That was a swing and a miss, and the ball was already in the catcher's mitt. That was an awful take by me. I own up to it. I have bad takes all the time. Everyone does. Like, you can't fucking make a million videos and not say something absolutely insane. And that's just what happens. Mike Davis sucked. I'm fine with it. I also hit on a lot of players last year. Sometimes you miss, you know? Who do you prefer? Allen Robinson, Terry McLaurin, Hollywood Brown, Godwin, or Cooks? Personally, I like out of that group, I like Allen Robinson the most. Terry McLaurin, I love Terry McLaurin the player. I have hated Terry McLaurin's situation for years. I think this is the best quarterback situation he's had, and I still don't love it. I'm still worried about it, but I think Terry McLaurin's going to have a fine year. I just don't know if he's ever going to have that crazy breakout that people want. Marquise Mariota uh, in the 18th round. Um, Quarterbacks. Watson, Wilson, the MILF Hunter. We have Mahomes and Lawrence, so I don't know if we have to force it with 3 quarterbacks. I'm not going to. Probably just going to go another receiver and another running back. Yeah, that fantasy flock guy is sorry as fuck, yeah. Everyone already knows that, though. If you hop in one of his streams when he's doing a best ball draft, that's the most positive, most EV move you could ever make in your life. Drafting against that guy, free money. Drafting against me, though, these guys messed up drafting against me. I'm the best ball player to ever live. Not actually, though, but maybe I will be. Once I win this tournament, I will tell everyone I'm the best ever. Wake up and I piss excellence. That's what I do, baby. Hope you guys have enjoyed this stream thus far. Genuinely, though, I've had a really fun time talking to all you guys. If you have any questions, again, just make sure to leave them in the chat. At the end, we are going to be grading LG's team as well as Tiger's team, both in the chat. If anyone else is in this stream, let me know. Or in this draft, let me know. This guy's fucking picture has bothered me this whole entire time. The pizza. That's got to be a pizza, right? With just no cheese. What the hell is that? Jalen Warren. I've seen a lot of Jalen Warren hype. I'm not on that hype train. I love Odell. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if Odell comes back, he's gonna really be great. So I like him a ton. I like Odell when he comes back. Alrighty. All right. Sorry for saying all right multiple times. Confidence is key. That is very true. Let's see here. Probably, again, just going to go running back or receiver. All right. Let's see. I've said let's see here like 5 fucking different times, guys. Sorry about that. Marlon Mack. I feel bad for Marlon. I think Marlon Mack still has some juice, if I'm being honest with you. I don't know why the Texans put him on the practice squad. Now, I'm a Dameon Pierce guy, so that convinced everyone. Dameon Pierce is now magically, clearly the number one running back, as if the guy hasn't been the number one running back since he fucking stepped on the team. The other running backs on this team suck ass. But I kind of feel bad for Marlon Mack because I think he could have been good maybe like once this year. Like maybe he has one game and it would have been beautiful. All right, let's see here. Need a receiver and a running back. Fuck Will Fuller. I'm not going Will Fuller. Um, we already went Sanders, so I'm not going to go Boston Scott. Let's go Ronald Jones. He somehow made the Chiefs. Chiefs 53. Is this tournament weekly or seasonal? I can join week 2. Yes, there is actually weekly contests. Well, so you can play like, for instance, you join week 2. There's week 2 contests. There's a contest every week they can join. Now it's not going to be like this with 12 teams. There's less teams, and you draft against them, and that's a big tournament, just like this. How it's a big tournament. Geno Smith. I hope I muted my mic before I burped there because I drank a lot of water this morning, and that just destroys my inside sometimes. My boy Braxton Berrios is still available. We'll go Terrence Marshall here. I think Terrence Marshall is pretty good. Obviously, Robbie Anderson is the number 2 receiver on the team, but I think Terrence Marshall, who was really fucking good at LSU, could fight for a solid spot on this team. Yeah. I play in the weekly tournaments all the time on best ball sites. I really like them. Okay. So our team, we're going to recap our team, then we're going to hop back in the draft and recap the other teams of the people watching this stream, and then we're going to get on out of here. So we got Pat Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence as our quarterbacks. Not the best quarterback duo, obviously, but also not bad because Patrick Mahomes obviously super fucking good. He could be the number 1 quarterback, and Lawrence could move up a little bit higher this year. I think he's going to play significantly better than last year. Rashad Penny, Melvin Gordon, Miles Sanders, Alexander Madison, Zamir White, Mike Davis, Ronald Jones. Our running back core is fucking disgusting. Our running back core on paper looks like dog shit, but all we need is one of these guys to just pop off, and then him and Penny and Melvin Gordon can have a nice day. Receivers, this is where our team looks good. Adams, Waddle, Thielen, Kirk, MVS, Hamler, Jameson Williams, Randall Cobb, Terrence Marshall, and then our tight ends are pretty good as well because Travis Kelce's so good, and Austin Hooper. You don't like Terrence Marshall because of Chenault, dude. I've never believed in Laviska Chenault, so I guess maybe that's just the difference between me and you. I do not like Chenault at all. I don't think Chenault's a good player, to be honest with you. Okay, so let's recap Team LG here. So they went wide receiver heavy early. Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel, Mike Williams, Juju, Deontay. Excellent start. Excellent start. I don't know why they allow you to take Deontay Johnson in the 5th round because, in my opinion, Deontay Johnson, we're going to have to do this a different way because the website does not enjoy what I'm doing right now. Because Deontay Johnson is just that good. Sure, he might let me down, but he was also my 20th round pick. So how let down could I possibly be by a 20th round player? Let's go to draft 6 here. And then view league. And then maybe I can click on the other teams. That's the one thing that is kind of annoying on here. No, that's not how you do it. Sorry about this, guys. We gotta go back. Where do all y'all live? Because where I live in New Jersey, I said y'all like I'm from the fucking South or something. It is so fucking hot right now in my room. It's only 77 degrees out. I'm fucking sweating. I might have to go shirtless next stream. All right, view draft. I think since the draft is over, it'll be easier for me to look at all this. Yes, the draft is complete. Okay, here we go. So, LG went early on receiver. I really like the receivers he got. I'm not a big fan of Juju, but I like the upside Juju presents. I love Lance. He went kind of block drafting style, so he went early on receivers, drafted quarterback, then started blocking off the running backs with some quarterbacks intermingling and a tight end. So I like his start a lot. Akers, Jacobs, Patterson, Carter, Robinson, Scott. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running backs. I'm going to be honest with you, with that kind of a build, I think I would go 7 running backs because of how good your receivers are. You did end up going with 3 tight ends. I think I would have replaced one of those tight ends with another running back. Now, again, splitting hairs here. I think your team is pretty solid overall on paper. Davis Mills is pretty interesting this year. I think Davis Mills is a lot better than people give him credit for. So I think he's an interesting pick deep in drafts. I also like your tight end group. Even though I wouldn't have went with Hurst, I would have just stuck Irv and Fryermuth. Those are 3 tight ends that I really like. So as a whole, I really like your team. I think your team is pretty good. Not as good as mine, though, of course. And then the first team here, Mr. Tigers, went with Justin Jefferson, Kyle Pitts at the round 2 before Mark Andrews, which I think is a little bit crazy. That's a little crazy, but that's just me. Teehee, Higgins, Jerry Judy, Hurts. Great start here. And then Pollard, Stevenson, Hunt, Hines, Spiller, TDP, Warren, and Mason went deep at running back. Doesn't have my favorite running backs, but went deep at running back to make up for it. And then he went some other receivers as well. I really like Burks, Chark. I like a lot as well. Your team is really good as well. Interesting to see how your team is going to work. Like, is Likely ever going to even enter your lineup besides the 1 week he's on bye? So, pretty interesting. And yeah, that's a good strategy. I do the exact same thing. I always try to draft one of those 49ers running backs, like Jeff Wilson. So I think TDP is a pretty solid pick late. And you also got Mason. So you have 2 running backs on the San Francisco 49ers, which is an interesting strategy. We'll see how that one plays out. So I think both of y'all had a good draft. I think I had a pretty good draft as well. So interesting to see out of all of us here. Maybe one of us will end up winning the $250,000. If what's that fucking meme? You need to join the army or whatever that shit is with it's not an actual meme, it's a thing from back in the day with what's that guy's name? Sam or whatever his name? Fuck, dude. I'm blanking. It's too early in the morning. But make sure that if you do want to join Drafters, to use promo code Stochastic, $100 first match deposit bonus. So you deposit $100, you get an additional $100 over on Drafters. I would really appreciate if you hit that like button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter if you've never seen me before, at Notorious FNTSY. Talk about football on there all the time. And make sure you follow the Fantasy Football channel as well. And I'm excited to see how close this tournament gets to filling. Let's go back here real quick before we skedaddle. Before I play the outro. 34,000 out of 55,000. My best guess is that this tournament is going to get to 45,000 or less by Thursday. So that's at least 10,000 people that aren't going to enter, giving you a very solid chance. Yeah, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam. That's who it is. Great Scott. Thank you. This is why I have the chat. You know, some of you people think in the morning about other things. All I can think about is football. So I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your guys' day. Again, make sure you use promo code Stochastic if you are new to Drafters for that $100 first match deposit bonus. I will be back on this channel, the Stochastic regular channel, the DFS channel, on Sunday. I know that for sure. Me, Emac, Terry, Sunday Night Football. Make sure you watch that. I love Sunday Night Football Showdown. Cowboys, Bucks. We're going to kill it as per usual. We're going to have a great time. I love you guys so much. Really do hope you guys have a great rest of your guys' day. And thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate each and every single one of you. Have a great day. And as always, good boy.